There's so much you've heard right from the beginning of the year, talking about how to plan your life, how to get to where you want to get to, building the capacity that will take you where you want to get to. All of that conversation, you've heard so much. So today we've actually brought our speakers back into the studio, 3 of them in fact, to answer all your questions. What are some of the challenges you've had so far in trying to execute all that you've heard? That's what we are offering you, an effective living series today. So Michael Ohinefa, co-founder of Lead Africa International, is in the studio again. I was excited to talk to him. Mami Fageze is here. 565 Consort is here as well. And then, of course, my old lost found uncle, Richard Akita Launchpad, is here as well. So let me start with you because it's been a long time. I remember the first time we spoke was on Radio Universe.
That's right.
Many years ago. I remember that's the voice. That's the voice I used to hear. That's the voice. Well, you're very welcome. Good to have you.
Thank you, Caleb.
How have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been rearranging things, taking stock of life and planning how to launch forward.
Right.
So my silence has been my growing season. I call it my valley seasons.
Ooh.
And I thank God that now I am seeing the light.
Amazing.
So the blade is out and it's become a reed, and gradually
a lot more sharper than before.
Exactly.
We love it. We love it. So share with us a few things that you want us to have as a guide as we get into 2026 that will help us live more effectively.
Well, 2026, the greatest thing is most people will have a theme, either from the church or personally. They'll have something they're working with.
Yeah.
And my encouragement to you is that with that theme, feed it into 3 areas.
Okay.
Number 1, your spirituality.
Right.
Because Isaiah 30 verse 21 says that you will hear a voice that says, go in this way. If you are able to connect with God, then your 2026 will be fantastic. Because even in the darkness, you still hear a voice.
Right.
Then family.
Okay.
After family, look out for your community, but I would say look out for your neighbor.
Okay.
For me, your neighbor in front, to both sides, left and right, and the one behind. Form that bond with those people.
Okay.
Because when something happens to you, if you pick up the phone and you call me, and I live 2 miles away from you, I'm not turning up. Yeah. But your neighbors, you need to know your neighbors. And I remember this growing up. As children, we knew all our neighbors, but there were some that you could always rely on. Yeah. And I think in this 2026, spirituality, family, and neighbors. So I say community. But let it be your neighbors.
Closest neighbors.
Closest neighbors.
It's interesting because we've become increasingly insular. We all get home, we are locked in there. You don't even hear your next door neighbor when something is happening until it's really close. So that's very important. Now, you talked about being present earlier when we had an engagement. You actually spoke to Bernard and I was here listening. I remember so much because a lot of the times we are in spaces and everyone is on their phone. Yeah. There's a lecture going on. There's some conversation, but we are all distracted. And you said that we pay some tax on our attention. I remember that so correctly. So are we doing better as we're getting into the year? How is it looking from your observations?
It sounds amazing. Anytime we start the year, we come here, we have these conversations. People are excited. They want to dive deep into the things that we speak about. Give it till about March and we all slide right back into our old habits, and that's where the real deal is. I've had a lot of inboxes, people calling, texting, LinkedIn, Instagram, asking how they can navigate the challenges that they go through. And one of the things that I spoke about last week was the reality. And the context of the things that we talk about. So we've had 4 weeks of learnings, personal, organizational, business. Yeah. And you're going into February, asking yourself, how do I take all of these plenty talk on radio, on TV, and make sure that the year actually ends on a good note? Right. Sit and be realistic. I keep saying that when you focus on more than 3 things for the year, you know that you're already crowding it out. So what are the things that you listen to? and what are the top 3 things that resonated with you most that will feed into your success this year. Focus on those. Give it energy. Give it the attention and live them.
That reminds me of The Power of One. That's a book that Richard Akita wrote many years ago. Nice. So focus on a few things. It shouldn't be more than 3. No. If it's more than 3, you're spreading out and you'll be burned out too quickly. So Effective Living Series is sponsored by Petra Trust and Hallmark Freight and Consultancy Ghana Limited. We want to make this one more interactive, more about your questions, your challenges, and bringing you real life solutions based on the experience and expertise of the wonderful coaches we have in the studio. So please, 0539 986 996. That's the number, 0539 986 996. WhatsApp us. I think that's more convenient. If you send a voice note, we will love it, but a voice WhatsApp will be much easier to handle given the constraint of time we have. So, Wafa, it's always good to talk to you once again. Always good. So we are looking at 2026.
Yeah.
A lot of raw materials.
That's right.
And it's funny, in the same year, people can be in the same class, in the same society, but things will turn out very differently for them.
Exactly. It's because of the approach, the attitude, and the actions that both people will take. I think 3 years ago, I said something right on this program, that how we are today is due to 3 things we did 5 years ago. Okay. The decisions we took, the habits we formed, and the actions we undertake every day.
So that the decisions, the habits and the actions.
5 years ago. That's what has brought you here today. The whole world, I saw on CNN that I got married in December.
Who's that? Sorry, what's that?
Talking about.
With a star, that's correct. Good. Now with a star-studded attendance, including reps from the American State Department. But Caleb, that event didn't start in December. That's true. It started 5 years ago with a smile, a conversation, a WhatsApp message. Right. So everything that you are experiencing today is because 5 years ago, years back, you made some decisions, you formed some habits, and you took some actions. Very well. In the same vein, what you are going to see in 2030 depends on the decisions you are making today, the habits you are forming today, and the actions you are going to take in this year.
That's it.
No amount of holy oil on your head will change for you if these 3 factors remain the same.
You mean if I tap and receive Christ, I'll be the same person?
Of mantle can change your life if you are not making new decisions, forming new habits, and taking new actions towards your goals for 2026.
Right. Decisions, habits, and actions, very important. Richard Akita, you've also said that we should, for all the decisions and habits and everything that we are going to build and form, we should think spirituality, think family, think community, and most importantly, neighbors. I think people are becoming more responsible for themselves and their decisions, because it's difficult being in control of what someone else does.
Yes.
You know, people are not as communal as before, and that worries me a lot.
Right.
I don't know how we can deal with that, because everyone is thinking about they, themselves, and them.
Well, you see, the country itself, governance is directing us to be more insular, because when you have a problem with electricity, you save up and you buy a generator.
Yes.
When you have water problems, you will do a borehole. Yes. So everything we're doing is that you're relying on yourself, and you lose the community spirit. The adage that it takes a village to raise a child, it still holds. And what we've got to do is to step out of those walls. Now our walls are a lot higher, and we put electric fence around them. And we don't want anybody to see inside our house. But we have to take time out to go to the so start the
we
conversation.
have burglar proofing too.
It's
so
true.
when there's fire outbreak, even when they are coming to, you will just die inside because we don't have keys and all.
So we need to be the ones to take the step across the room. Bill Hybels says, walk across the room. So will you be able to walk from your gate to next door and say, hi, I'm Richard Akita. How are you? And that's what, I mean, we've moved to a new area. So my wife and I, over the Christmas period, which is one of the good opportunities, we just did little hampers. Right. And we knocked on our neighbors' doors and we gave it to them and said, hey, I'm Richard. We're just next door.
Okay.
Right? That starts the conversation.
Right.
Many years ago, if you go to other countries, you move into a neighborhood and they'll bring a pie.
Yeah.
Pots of food.
Yeah. And all of that.
No, you'll be lonely for months. You will not know your neighbors.
You know, I when I lived in Teshin, for example, the only neighbor I knew then was my uncle.
Okay.
And that's only because it was my father's friend.
Relation.
So that was the only extension. Now I had to force myself to get to go out there and meet people. Yeah. And when you start doing that, first of all, if you're not going to be inquisitive, there's an adage in Ghana that says that I go to take fire, not to look into your soup. Right? So I've got to go in there, and the motive is just to get to know you.
Right.
I don't have to know what you do, just to say, hi, I'm your neighbor. Because imagine when something happens and it's an emergency, they are closer to you and they can help you.
Yeah.
So start with that, but it has to be from us. In the same way we solve all our issues with light and everything else, start going out there and talking to your neighbors. And if we do that, we start bringing that community spirit back into Ghana. And that was one of the great moments growing up. Everybody knew everybody. You make a mistake, you're walking on the street, and what betimes you? If Michael Hinefa sees me and I'm misbehaving, he'll beat me. And then
report to your parents.
And then my parents will
talk about
and now you touch somebody's child. And then, so let's use what we have. Technology is good, but the human element is pivotal.
Technology is important, it's great, but let's not lose the human elements.
That's right.
We're having a conversation earlier this morning. Someone sent a message yesterday to say that he went to the bank and the teller, I think someone left 10,000 cedis or so, and the teller returned the money to the person. So when we get time, we should talk about it. And I was like, but that's your job anyway. Why are we even talking about that today? And then the point was like, look, even in church, when they say come forward, they ask you to take your bag and come forward, because right there, someone can do you harm. And it appears that in all our professional growth and in all the goals we are building, the character part of our growth and we're missing that. Brings me back to your conversation with David, his character, building that in the bush and all of that.
I think we allowed foreign movies to dilute the Ghanaian culture. That's where I place it. Because when I was growing up, when we were fixed only on Osofudazi, Obra, and Thursday Theatre, I think those people dramatized the core Ghanaian values.
Yes.
And at some point, we felt that we had grown and moved on and started bringing in foreign material.
Other things.
American movies, Indian movies, Chinese movies, and then the worst of it were the Mexican telenovelas. And I think that kind of diluted the Ghanaian culture. And progressively, you see that we are getting worse as a country. Crime is going up, armed robbery, all these things. Now, when I was growing up, to hear that somebody was a herbalist or somebody was a juju man meant that he was in the bush somewhere, you know. Today they advertise on Facebook, they have billboards. That's how brazen it has become, and that's how we have glorified some of these, you know, bad things in our life. So I think there's an urgent need to go back to the core Ghanaian value. What Richard is talking about, fellow feeling, good neighborliness. You could play 8 streets from your house and you knew everybody, and everybody took care of everybody. In fact, my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, will always leave food. And her assumption was that you never know who's going to visit you at night. So there must always be at least soup.
Wow.
Yes, that was how people thought about other people. And we've lost it. That we've allowed these foreign materials to dilute and to change what is the authentic Ghanaian culture. And I'm hoping that in March, when you do Ghana Month, you will bring some of these conversations and see how we can reclaim. Because it's hurting us. It's hurting us.
And, Mami, what's the price you pay when you are doing well, you are present, you're listening to Onyefa, you're listening to Richard Akita and everyone else, you are living effectively, but you don't bother to look over your shoulders because it's your life and you're responsible, you're accountable for your life. Among your pack, you're the only one doing well. Is there anything sustainable that way?
Oh no. You know the saying that if you want to go far, go with others, but if you want to go fast, go alone. Holds true. Now, I was talking to my son the last time, and I told him that we, growing up, knew the people that had cars in the town. Right. We could close from school, and as we walked as groups and people got to their homes and got off the park, we could even sit by the street and chat, and there was no fear that the car was going to come hit you. Yeah. His first question was, were your roads tarred? I said, rightly so. And I said, yes, they were tarred. In fact, we didn't have as much potholes as you. Either your roads were good or they were not done at all. Now, what we've seen is how we've rolled up our glasses whilst driving.
Oh, it's tainted too, so you don't get to see us. Yeah.
And haven't you heard times when people's cars have veered off the road, when people have rushed there only to realize that the person was actually unconscious and lost control of the wheel?
And the car is locked.
And the car is locked. And we have all these security. Some people, private citizens, have bulletproof cars that would disallow you from entering the car even if there were an emergency. So no, we are minding our growth. Does not mean that we do that excluding the community.
That's right.
If you don't have a good, we spoke about this last year, how you have to declutter your space. Cool. But you need to consciously decide who in my space can go with me. So you're not sitting and thinking, I can do this all by myself. I'm sitting here, we're just discussing how we actually have a crisis of human resource in this country, where, yes, we understand that the newer generations are born differently. When we were coming up, even by the time we saw VHS, you would have had to have a certain class in society, but they grow up, they have tablets at zero months.
VHS is Piamonco. And the way you said it's faster.
with vertical TV.
You understand? Now we are streaming Netflix and this. Everyone has a phone, so you can watch different things. If you don't agree on what to watch, be a
No, in those days, if Dad was watching Talking Point, that's where you're seated. 7 p.m. GBC News, that's what everybody was watching. The point is that, yes, we are in such clutter that we actually need to be so present now. And to be present, you can actually have a few rules. And I say, in my home, I heard Bernard talk about it yesterday. The conversation is still ongoing, but I've said 16 years, no phone.
Even at 16?
No, until you
16. Right.
You are not. Look, there are stories. You will have an excuse. What if something happened? Something will happen and you need a cell phone because you don't know your next house neighbor. And something is happening and you cannot call on the fixed line because everybody is able to afford a cell phone. So nobody cares about when the telephone lines in the community are down.
Yeah.
I mean, when the lights go off now where I live, I pick a phone and I call ECG. Next door neighbor has done same. 2 houses. We don't even come out to figure out, okay, what's happening and what do we do together? Everybody's just calling ECG. And ECG has responded to that need by employing a lot more customer service people rather than all of us coming together and wondering what exactly is happening. We need to focus. Everybody, you go to a certain home, mom, dad, 3 children, and there are about 6 phones. Add a nanny and a house help because in every home they have a minimum of 2. And then there's a driver and there's a gate man. So in that household there are about 12 cell phones.
That's right.
We could actually get one fixed line and mom and dad have cell phones. Everybody else, call me. I said to my son, why do you need a cell phone? Call me from home. Mama, what if? I said the what ifs were happening then. People were calling, but we were okay. You know, so no, to your question, no, we can't do this by ourselves. You can't be the only person growing. I had people in my clique ask me, but mommy, no, my morning time is almost like sacred. That's when I said, you're doing that because you're thinking if you were alone, you could do more. Let everybody come to the realization that when I wake up, these 5 minutes that I want to be still, nobody will die. I just want to inhabit my presence so I can give you more. If you explain to them about what's in it for them, if I don't do this, I come to you cluttered. If I don't focus, you don't get the most out of me. I keep telling myself, Mama, I said, Papa Kwesi, if I finish with this phone call, I'll be able to attend to you more fully. And once he understood that, he gets it. It doesn't stop him from coming. And when there's an emergency, you can stop me and I'll end that call. But he understands now that when I allow Mama to finish this, she gives me. And when I am with him as well, I give him my, Mama, you have a call. I said, I can wait. I look at the number. This is a call I can return. Okay. So focusing is become such a critical currency now that we have so much in our environment that if we don't build the habit, we are rather paying extra for trying to multitask. Multitasking is just...
I just written down multitask. Oh, no. I just written down multitasking because we are doing so many things at the same time. And we convince
ourselves that we're being more effective. But
is that not the case, Richard? That we're being more productive, you know? You go to work, you go to school, you go to church, you do so many things at the same time. And at the end of the day, you ask us, okay, so where's the balance?
Are we actually doing more? Because, I mean, we're doing more, but are we actually being more productive? And I would disagree. Let me go to mommy and I'll come to the question. Multitasking is a fallacy because it doesn't matter how many things you're doing, you have to still focus on one.
That's your brain's capacity.
You understand? Yeah. So you can start 10 things, but you have to focus on one at a time. So we're doing all these things, and we think we're achieving more, we're being more productive, but at what cost? So there's this book by Greg McEwen, and he calls it essentialism. Right. And he talks about you and I, what do we say yes to? What do we say no to?
That's it.
And when you learn to be able to differentiate when to say yes and when to say no, that is when you achieve your best. When I came, you said to me, you haven't seen me in a while. And I said, I became a seed and my blades come up and it's become a reed. It's becoming a tree. I will start bearing flowers and fruits if I did not go back into a space where I could invest in Richard Akita. And I'm running around busy. Then, Caleb, I used to run around very busy, 18 hours a day. And I look at my bank account and I'll call Mike and say, Michael, it is not working. I want to go back to London. And the amount of times Michael has discouraged me, he said, stay. And you say, Imbra, stay. We'll make this work. But you do all these things. Then when I slow down, my wife and said, okay, let's slow down. Let's look at what are we doing? Look at the 80-20 rule. Yeah. What am I doing that is giving me 80% return? Yeah. And once we start focusing on that, then I'm spending less time chasing. In actual fact, money is now chasing me because I'm doing what I love doing best. Mm-hmm. And when we can do that, it helps us to stop running around. One of the myths out there, which sadly we don't train a lot of our young people, Caleb, for yourself, you are at that stage where you're now gathering. Okay, so in the 7 stages of our life, we're born and we get to this stage where after university you start working and you start gathering things and you chase money. But when you get to a certain stage in your 50s, in your 5th decade in life, you learn that between 50 and 70 is actually when most millionaires are created. Forget this wonderful technology where AI is going to make millionaires all in a few years. Yes, I understand.
So what about the 21-year-olds that
those are outliers?
No,
0.00.
That is what I want us to understand.
Please, my children they use technology and they are making money. But if you keep to what you're doing, focus. I like this, focus currency. If you keep that currency, you work on that currency, there's going to come a time that currency will have to speak.
Yes.
And when it starts speaking, the way you know it's speaking is you don't chase people anymore.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came to Ghana, I'll go and I'll ask for training. And they'll ask me, how much would you charge? And I'll quote my price. I say, you're too expensive. Then I reduce the price. You're too expensive. Then I reduce it. And then one day,
Always too expensive.
a great friend of mine, Petra Abba, someone said to me, Richard,
Right, Petra.
stop reducing your price.
That's it.
This is before all these wonderful things on YouTube and TikTok were saying, don't reduce your price, tell them the value.
Yeah.
So just quote your price. And then I started. Recently, I quoted the price to somebody and said, you're too expensive. I said, yes.
Yes, I am.
Do you know how long it's taking me to get here?
Right.
And you want me to just reduce my price because of you? I said, no. So please. So, yes.
Focus currency.
Focus currency.
I love that, focus currency. But Michael, when you engage a lot of young people, what you see is what they call FOMO, the fear of missing out. No one wants to miss out. So we are catching up, we are playing catch up, we're running all over the place, fearing we don't want to miss out. We want to be relevant. But from all we are learning today, there is a currency you get from keeping your eye on one thing, following one course until something.
Yeah.
There was an abbreviation for focus. They said follow one course until something immature. Until something. Until immature. So what do you say to someone who needs his fear of missing out cured?
That is for average people.
That's it.
You want to be everywhere, you want to know everything. It's for average people. You want to stand out and do well, hide. Look at Bible. Look at the seed. If the seed wants to be out there in the corridor, will it germinate? Will it grow? But it goes down before it comes up. So all of us have a period when we must go down before we come up. When footballers are training, there's no camera. They train, they do their strategizing and everything in private, in secret. When they wake up at dawn to train and to do all of those things, there's no camera. It is on the D-Day that they now enter the stadium and perform. So if you are afraid of missing out because you just want to know Kokonsan, and this person has done this, and that person, and have you heard, they went to that, that's for average people. If you want to do well, look at, if you take the Bible, there's Jesus himself spent 30 years preparing for a 3-year ministry. He did not start out from age 12 doing miracles and do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Sure, me I no be normal guy. I be Jesus. Don't send me. Aha.
Me them poppy day.
Your horse is sick. Hey, bring him.
I don't care for you. Oh my word.
You understand? Even the divine, even the Son of God spent 30 years preparing for a 3-year ministry. So if you want to have anything of value, anything of worth, you've got to. The fear of missing out is just for Kokonsa people. It's for average people. Just so you can know. But knowing will not change your life. It is in the doing that you change your life. So forget about what everybody is doing. Forget about what everybody is saying. And just focus on the one thing or the 3 things as Mami is saying. I call it the yearly big 3. The 3 things that will change your life. Focus there. You understand? Behave like a seed. Be on the ground. And then when you sprout, you germinate, you grow nice. Like, hey, wow. Oh, this guy there, the way you do
always known him.
We have always known this guy who do well. Exactly.
I'm loving the conversation. Michael Ohinefa, Mami Fuagezi, and Richard Akita trying to wrap up all we've been hearing on Effective Living Series. Effective Living Series brought to you by Petra Trust and Hallmark Freight Consultancy, Hallmark Freight and Consultancy Ghana Limited. 0539986996. We want you to be a part of this conversation. We want to hear from you in the next couple of minutes. Please send us your thoughts. We've heard so much. What are you taking away? It's been so helpful doing this. While we are at it, are you getting good insight from your data for decision making? Join the data analytics and AI revolution and empower your team to work smart, save time, and deliver insight from data using the world's most powerful business tools: Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Google Gemini, Copilot, you name it. Phoenix Skills Hub offers hands-on practical training to corporates and individuals in data analytics with Excel and Power BI. Leverage AI tools like Copilot and Gemini to help you improve productivity at the office. Reach out to Phoenix Skills Hub on 0244-782-356. Visit our website www.phoenixskillshub.com. Phoenix is spelled with an X. Sign up for your corporate and individual training sessions. Phoenix Skills Hub. Learn, connect, grow. If you're looking for motor insurance that goes the extra mile, Hollard Insurance has something special for you this year. 2026, insure your car with Hollard and enjoy extra rewards. New customers get to drive away with free fuel vouchers when they sign up. Existing customers get exclusive gifts when they renew. Plus, we have 24/7 free roadside assistance for everyone, so you're never stuck on the road. That's value you can trust. 0800-444-999. Head office, visit our office as well, or speak to your broker today. Men's like a Hollard Insurance, we've got you covered. So GRA has a love letter I wish to bring to your attention. We're reminding all persons registered for VAT, NHIL, Get Fund levy that all these levies and the communications service tax returns for them for December 2025 should be submitted not later than today. It's the last working day of the month. So file your VAT, NHIL, Get Fund levy, and CST returns early and avoid payment of penalties. For VAT, NHIL, and Get Fund levy, the penalty is 500 Ghana cedis. There's a further penalty of 10 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. Now, for the CST operators, late filing of returns attracts a pecuniary penalty of 2,000 Ghana cedis and a further penalty of 500 Ghana cedis for each day the return is not submitted. So remember to submit the December 1 not later than today. You have been informed. info@gra.gov.gh. WhatsApp 055-299-0000. And it's a new year, new you. Reimagine, evolve, and be intentional. Allow Bank of Africa to carry the burden of keeping your money safe and secure while you focus on achieving your goals. Join BOA today and unwrap a thoughtful selection of exciting products and services, including BOA Web, Visa, USD debit and credit cards amidst our SME and personal loans, a full gift of financial solutions curated with you in mind. Our branches are open to you. Call us 0302-429-690. Chat Fafa at www.boaghana.com for inquiries and onboarding. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. Now, after receiving hundreds of nominations for the ChannelOne Community Legends from communities across the country, the search for the most deserving and heartwarming stories are underway. Every entry is being carefully reviewed as we identify stories that truly inspire and create impact. So get ready for the exciting review and grand celebration of the 10 ChannelOne Community Legends, only on ChannelOne TV and Citi. So I have 3 guests and I have 3 minutes to go. So guess what? I give each 1 minute to tell you something to part ways with as you take charge of February. We've heard a lot in January. Already some have forgotten. Some are despairing, but some too are keeping on because it really gets tough as you go. It's like the more you resolve to do something, the harder it gets. So what should we remember when the going gets tough in 2026 and we feel like it's not worth it, let me just give up?
That your life is yours. You must carve out your context. Whenever we learn these things, there has to be a place where we contextualize it so it suits where we want to go. I will still say that if you keep the focus and you stay present with the things that you decide to do. So if you had 3 things lined up, you're focusing on them, you're staying present with them where you are fully aware and working on the habits, the actions Michael spoke about, you would end the year knowing that you've achieved something. Otherwise, there's so much.
Excellent. Richard?
I will encourage you to go back to your knees.
Okay.
Spirituality. For those who are spiritual, go back to that because you're going to get directions. If you're not, find a time to exercise mindfulness because all the answers we need for 2026 is already on the inside of us. We need to find peace in a noisy world. And if we can do that, that would help us to navigate where we're going. And remember, processes or processing and progression are too painful for a consumer. If you want to be unique, go through the process, go through the program, and you would see that gradually you will be a better person by December 31st than you were on January 1st.
Exciting stuff.
And let me add on to what Mame shared earlier on. This year, focus on 3 things. The most important goals you want to achieve this year. We call it the yearly big 3. By 31st December, when you are wearing your white, what do you wish you would have achieved this year? 3. Now break it into 3.
Okay.
I call it the quarterly big 3. So every quarter, what must you do to achieve the 3 things you want to achieve? What 3 actions, moves must you make towards the yearly big 3? Break it into quarters. Then break it into weeks. Every week, from Sunday to Sunday, what 3 things must you do towards your quarterly goals?
Okay.
And then every day when you wake up, Mami said the first 1 hour, use it for your planning. Let me add that in that planning, decide on 3 actions you take for the day. That will move you towards your weekly big 3. And if you keep at it, there's no way you will not achieve significant success in 2026.
Amazing.
Yearly big 3, quarterly big 3, weekly big 3, daily big 3.
Time-tested principles that will change your life in time if you will follow through. Effective Living Series. Richard, Mame, and Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been amazing talking to you. And thank you for doing the listening. A lot of empowering words for you. I hope that you have the courage to believe in the power of your dreams and the discipline to carry them through.